on the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports Plus Life. Sports Plus Life.
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin', no. Knuckle up or buckle up, I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or gossip dough.
Sports Plus Life.
Yeah.
Sports Plus Life.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns coming to you at a lower tone than my usual hype self, but this is Sports Plus Life. I'll explain my monotone volume in a minute, but you know what's going down today. So guess what? Guess what? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it all the way off. Yeah. Okay. Let me explain my monotone voice. I'm kind of struggling to do this because I've had a cold. My sinuses are really acting up. My daughter had a cold, and she coughed on me, sneezed on me, and thus I've caught it. Excuse me. So this isn't going to be a long podcast because I don't really have the voice to talk for a long time. But then, you know, who knows when I get to talking about a subject, who knows what's going to happen. But realistically, this may be about 15, 20 minutes. If this goes for a half an hour, I'll be shocked because really for the last about 3 days, I felt it. I've toughed it out through work. And now I got the next 3 days off. So, you know, we're going to do what we have to do. But we're going to let's I hope everybody is good. I hope everybody is feeling better than me. That's for damn sure. But it is Saturday evening, February 6, 2000 of the 2-1. And the weather is not as chilly because it's supposed to snow tonight, so we'll see what happens. But, you know, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it, bruh. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. You know what time it is. This is the day before the Super Bowl, or Super Bowl Eve, if you will. And as I talked about last week on the last podcast, everybody already knows it's between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, everybody's saying it's a matchup for the ages with the quarterbacks, and it is. You got Tom Brady looking for his 7th Super Bowl title and his first outside of New England without Bill Belichick, and you have Patrick Mahomes and the reigning champion Kansas City Chiefs looking to go back-to-back. Would be the first team to go back-to-back since Tom Brady and the Patriots did it in 03 and 04. So, to me, I've already given my predictions. I gave my predictions the last podcast and the Sports Plus Life special, Talking Ish with with Sean and Tony. I said I believe the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win. I'm not swaying from that, even though the Chiefs are dealing with injuries, particularly on the offensive line. Tampa Bay is the healthier team. If you look at Tampa Bay's roster from top to bottom, they have the more talented roster, but do you have an answer for Tyreek Hill? And people are just leaving it at Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce as far as Kansas City's weapons. They're leaving it at Tyreek Hill. What are you going to do with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce? Well, you know, they have another 4'2", 40 guy, McCole Hart. Sammy Watkins is back. I don't know if Demarcus Robinson is going to play because I know he was on the COVID protocol. You have that receiver Pringle. You have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Le'Veon Bell. So, you know, while outside of Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, you don't have the name brand names like Tampa Bay does with a Mike Evans and a Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown and a Gronk and a Leonard Fournette, you know, but one thing that people may be overlooking is the fact that, yes, this is Tom Brady's 10th Super Bowl, and that's, you know, quite an accomplishment, but the rest of his teammates outside of Gronk and I guess, you have a couple sprinkled out there. Gronk, Jason Pierre-Paul won a Super Bowl with the Giants back in 2011, beating the Patriots. Shaq Barrett was Von Miller's backup when the Broncos won the Super Bowl in 2015, Super Bowl 50 over the Panthers. So you have those four players, but you have a lot of people who haven't been in this situation before. You know, their receivers. Antonio Brown went to a Super Bowl his rookie year with Pittsburgh. Evans and Godwin haven't been here. Cameron Brayton hasn't been here. Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, their young secondary, Levante David, Devin White, you know, they haven't been on this stage. And now this is a home game. Well, it's not technically a home game, but it's in their stadium. First time it's ever happened. But what people haven't really looked at is that the Kansas City Chiefs have been here, and they can now say that they've been here and they've done that. They're a battle-tested team, and they're a great come-from-behind team. Now, I think that this is going to be the game where Tom Brady misses Bill Belichick, him on the defensive side. I don't know what Todd Bowles has planned. I tell you what he's not going to do. He's not going to leave Tyreek Hill on one-on-one coverage. But like I said, if you double Hill, then you got McCole Hardman. And trust me, there's a lot of questions about, because the Bucs have a ferocious front seven, and Kansas City is missing two of their tackles. Andy Reid is a genius play caller who can design misdirect plays to keep the pressure off of Mahomes. And, you know, a lot of people they're on the Tom Brady gravy train, and the more and more, I would not be surprised if Kansas City absolutely smoked them. Now, realistically, I don't think that's going to happen. I've never seen one dull Super Bowl that Tom Brady has played in. And by dull, I mean absolute blowout. I mean, you could say that his last Super Bowl he was in with the Rams was pretty dull. But me personally, I love a defensive battle. But I think this is going to be a shootout. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City went in the 40s and Tampa Bay was in the low 30s. I wouldn't be surprised if the final score of this game was 44-34, to be honest. I think the only surprise for everybody would be is if the Chiefs get blown out. I think that would be the only surprise. And like I said, you have Tom Brady, 43 years old, quite an accomplishment. While I'm not going to ride his coattail like everybody else has because he got to the Super Bowl without Belichick, it's not like he left New England and went to the Detroit Lions with their skill position players and took them to the Super Bowl. Now, making the Super Bowl is hard regardless, and he's going to his 10th, so mad props. But like I said, I'm not going to ride his coattail like everybody else is. Excuse me. Bear with me, y'all. Yeah, I'm not going to ride his coattail because had he chosen to go... Well, see, this is why he didn't go. This is why I never thought when people were talking about him possibly going to the Chargers after last season, I said, there's no way in hell he's going to be in the same division. He was already in the same conference as Mahomes. There's no way he's going to be in the same division as Mahomes. It's not going to happen. So, I mean, go look on my YouTube page. As soon as he said he wasn't coming back to the Patriots, I called it. I said he's going to Tampa. He was going to a team that was stacked with weapons. So, am I surprised that Tampa is here? I didn't think they would get here. I mean, I'm a little surprised. I wasn't honestly surprised that they beat New Orleans. I didn't think they would beat Green Bay. But am I utterly, stunned? No, because look at their roster. You know, when Brady initially comes, you already got Evans, Godwin, Brate, O.J. Howard, who got hurt. You already had Ronald Jones. You already had the defense. Then Gronk comes out of retirement. Then you get Antonio Brown. Then you add Leonard Fournette and even LaShawn McCoy, who's just sitting there collecting dust. So it's like I said, I'm not saying that this is not impressive, but if Tom Brady, go to Detroit, you know what I'm saying, or somewhere like that, which I know he would never do. But I mean, for Tom Brady, if he gets Super Bowl number 7, you know, people are gonna bow down and kiss his ass. It'll be warranted for him to have a lot of credit. Me personally, in my book, you know, I don't consider him the GOAT. While I know the general consensus in the public does. I know he has 6 Super Bowl rings, but I don't consider him the GOAT, mainly because their first 3 Super Bowls, they cheated. Or under this speculation of cheating. Spygate happened those first 3 Super Bowls. So half of his titles have an asterisk to me. And you know, because Brady is the flavor of the month, you know, people are gonna bypass that. But I mean, I'm just being real. He's not the GOAT in my opinion, because to me, even if he had nothing to do with what Belichick had in place, he still benefited from it. So in my book, he's not the GOAT. Now, if he goes and wins 2 or 3 Super Bowls with Tampa in his early and mid 40s, okay, now we having a different conversation. But those 3 Spygate Super Bowls matter to me when you talk about the greatest of all time. Yes, he's been to a lot of Super Bowls. That's great. He benefited from playing in a terrible ass garbage division for 20 years where he was, where they always were going to win more likely than not. It is what it is. Now for Patrick Mahomes, this is a chance for him to, like I said, this could be a torch passing game. You know, people generally consider Brady the GOAT, okay? And this could be Patrick Mahomes saying, there's a new sheriff in town. It happens. For Andy Reid, this is a chance to solidify himself as the best active coach under the best active coach under Bill Belichick. Belichick is still the best active coach. But if Andy Reid gets his 2nd Super Bowl, like I said the last podcast, I think this separates him from Mike Tomlin and Pete Carroll. I think that separates him. That puts him definitely on a higher pedestal. And so I'm calling the Chiefs. I'm calling them to repeat. I think it's going to be a very entertaining game. And we shall see. We'll see what happens. I mean, a lot of matchups. People are talking about ball control, what Tampa needs to do. And like I said on Talking Ish with Sean and Tony, is what if Kansas City plays ball control? And I know Tony said that if the Chiefs have 8-9 minute drives, that means Tampa is in the game. Okay. But what if the game starts like the last one did? I don't necessarily think it will, as far as 17-0. But I think if the Chiefs, particularly if they get the ball first, I think they're going to come right out, punch Tampa in the mouth. I do. I think they're going to come out and punch them in the mouth and score rather quickly. I'm not going to say 2 minutes or less, but I would say less than 5 minutes. I believe they'll be right down the field because it's going to be somebody else. There's somebody. I'm not saying that Tyreek or Travis is not going to have a big game for the Chiefs. Somebody else, and I'm looking at Hardman or I think Hardman is going to have a huge game. I think Mecole Hardman is going to have a huge game because you can't catch that dude neither. You can't. So, in other related football news, Philadelphia Eagles, they fired Doug Peterson bring in this new young coach, Nick somebody. I don't even remember his last name. They bring him in under, I guess, well, everybody was under the assumption because this new coach worked under Frank Reich. Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator for the Eagles when Carson Wentz had his best season in 2017. So they're bringing in this new coach to quote-unquote fix Carson Wentz. And the Eagles have chosen Carson Wentz over Doug Peterson. Well, news today is that the Eagles plan to trade Carson Wentz next week. So what in the hell did you fire Doug Peterson for? That's all I want to know. He seemed to be pretty good, rocking pretty good with Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts, because it looks like that, they're going to trade Wentz. Jalen Hurts is going to be your starting quarterback, at least for the next 2 years, definitively, because you've seen that he can play. He's still on his rookie deal. You can kind of get out of the cap hell that you're in. And so I just find that to be very weird. I don't see the problem with trading Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz has worn out his welcome in Philadelphia. And I think what you ended up seeing with Carson Wentz is a serious lack of leadership, because I believe Carson Wentz, throughout his time in college in North Dakota, he's from North Dakota, I don't think there's ever been any pressure on him. I don't think anybody has ever put pressure on him as to the point where he was pushed to keep his job. And I don't think Carson Wentz likes that or reacted well to it. As soon as he was benched, he was ready to go. So it is what it is. So we shall see. I feel myself running out of oxygen as far as getting ready to, as far as talking. I will quickly go to the NBA quickly. Word is now there's going to be an all-star game. Initially, when the agreement on how the season would be played, there was said that there would be no all-star game. Now the NBA is saying that it's going to be an all-star game, and players, LeBron James said straight up, it's a slap in the face. I mean, it's a money grab. It is. It's a money grab. So it's kind of a love-hate thing, because you are playing a helter-skelter schedule. You would like for the players to recover, well, at least to get some kind of a break. But I'm just like this. Look, if you don't like the fact that there's going to be an all-star game, because there is the charity thing that's going to HBCUs, that's great. But if you're LeBron James or anybody else who is unhappy with the fact that there's an all-star game, don't play. I mean, straight up, don't play in it. He wouldn't be the first. Now, I understand that he is the biggest star in the NBA, but he wouldn't be the first star to elect to skip the All-Star game, particularly when you're in your 18th year. I wouldn't be mad at him. I mean, and I understand his point by saying, why would you gather up all of these stars in Atlanta, because the All-Star game is supposed to be in Atlanta, and Atlanta has been a COVID hotspot. I mean, it has been. And not only that, you got courtside Karen there waiting for you. So we'll see. I guess, like I said, it's a money grab. It's a money grab for the NBA. And finally, I'm going to give an update on the world of boxing. I was reading this yesterday, that a deal is being finalized for a third fight between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield to make upwards of $200 million, and the fight would be in Dubai. Haven't put a date on it yet, but this doesn't surprise me after his fight with Roy Jones and seeing the money that it made, over 1.6 million pay-per-view buys. You put the fight in Dubai, you could have fans, plus the pay-per-view, they'll make a killing. So if they made $200 million off of a third fight, it wouldn't surprise me. I've seen some new training videos of Mike Tyson. dude is in marvelous shape, and Holyfield stays in shape. So hopefully they'll put a date on that soon. You know I'm gonna be hyped for it. But anyway, where the buzz? Ooh, where the buzzer? Where the buzzer? Where the buzzer? Like I said, wish it could be longer. I would have liked to call and talk to a couple of guests, but I really don't feel great. I just wanted to do this because I wanted to keep the consistency. Just wanted to give one more take on what the Super Bowl would look like. Also, the update on the NBA as well as boxing. But I hope everybody enjoys themselves on the Super Bowl. I hope if you're going to any kind of Super Bowl gathering that everybody is safe and not only just practicing social distancing, but not getting too buzzed to drive where you can find yourself in a terrible situation. But anyway, it's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns. This has been another episode of Sports Plus Life. I'll definitely get back at you guys in the next few days. Hopefully feeling a lot better. But you know what? I'm out there. Peace.